Hey guys, it's yours, Connor, aka OKayFabe, back here on OneWrestling.com, here to do the, back on doing the Impact Wrestling review. But listen, I'm really excited because guess what? I may have snuck away with one of the Feast or Fired briefcases, and I got it right here, right now. I'm going to open it up, so just give me a second, okay? Ready? Here we go, Feast or Fired hand. Nope, it wasn't a title shot. No, I'm not fired, surprisingly. It's lunch from like 3 weeks ago. There's milk in there. I think the milk is moving.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello everybody, my name is Connor, aka that milk still smells really bad. Anyway, kayfabe, and welcome back as yours truly, the official OneWrestling.com TNA Impact Wrestling reporter, gives his report on this past Tuesday night edition of TNA Impact Wrestling. We got a great show, lots of things to talk about, lots to cover, and just gonna kick that out of the way there. But make sure you also subscribe to myself and everyone here, the OneWrestling.com family, by hitting that subscribe button right down there, as well as the like button while you're at it. I mean, come on. Listen, I know I'm no Big Ray, and he did a phenomenal job of taking over for last week for me while I was on a very hard, strenuous, and so tiresome vacation. But yours truly is back, and we got a lot to talk about, including Feast or Fired. No, Feast or Fired. It's not... How could you have both? You get fired and you lose. We're going to have a serious talk about. And why were you in Ray's house? And don't forget, I encourage you guys to make sure to follow myself and the entire OneWrestling.com family on social media, links down in the description box below, including myself at OKayFabe, at Big Ray, at Big Ray Show, and of course, the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter at After One Wrestling, and of course, One Wrestling itself at OneWrestling.com. But listen... We got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about how Impact Wrestling kicked off this past Tuesday. Holy shnikes, this is a big one. Matt Hardy has regained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship last week in a brutal last man standing match against EC3. Something we don't really see too often in wrestling in general, not just nowadays, but in the scheme of the historic of professional wrestling. You had Matt Hardy and EC3 essentially switch roles. Darn it! My true world champion Ethan Carter III was not on Impact this week. Sad tear. But fear not, as Matt Hardy was approached by Jeff Hardy because he wanted answers. Why, Matt? Why? Wow, that really hurts a lot. In any case, we get answers, kinda, sorta, as Reba Sky, aka Reba Hardy, has made, little indications to Matt that he should no longer give, but instead should take. And boy, did he take, with his wife and child being held by Tyrus. By the way, I'm just stating for the record under no sort of threat or any sort of circumstances or... Did I mention threat? Threat. Whatsoever, Tyrus is the official best babysitter in the world. Would I trust him with my child? Moving on. After some epic confrontation between Jeff and Matt, they announced that the main event of tonight's Impact Wrestling will be Matt versus Jeff Hardy for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Holy cow, they've really put the belt on the line a lot on Impact on Pop. Listen, I'm not complaining. I think it's great seeing a world title shot, but trust me, it's not the only championship match we'll see, but we'll just get into that in just a moment. Anyway, it's time to be feasted or to be fired. Dead. Now, first and foremost, I must state that Battle Royals in general are really hard to review or report. Just in general, so much craziness, so much chaos, so much action. So I'll give you guys some highlights about this one. But first and foremost, I am actually a big fan of the Feast or Fired concept. It's different and unique. A lot of people say it takes on other variations of match, but really, when do you have an opportunity to get not one, but 3 different championship matches and essentially someone get fired? Hold on. Someone's going to get fired from TNA. That means they might have a job opening in... Listen, Mr. Apter, I don't know if you're watching, but in any case, I think I would be great to work at TNA Impact Wrestling. Yes, I'd be better than Grado. In any case, there was crazy and amazing action in this matchup, hands down. A couple of people that really, truly impressed me in this matchup was definitely Robbie E, and particularly Aiden O'Shea, who I actually said congrats to on Twitter, and then he called me a mutt. Not sure if that's a positive thing or a negative, but you know what? I'm going to stick with it. Yes, but in the end, we had 4 briefcases and 4 winners. I say that with air quotations because obviously someone's getting fired. We had Eli Drake. We had Grado, we had Drew McIntyre and James Storm all walk away with briefcases. In a very rare moment, too, you did see Bobby Roode help James Storm get the final briefcase, which was something that I don't think we have seen in Feast or Fired, at least to the best of my recollection. But we'll get into what happens with them later on. But first, we've got a match to cover here, folks. As such as the Feast or Fired concept, the X Division Championship was one of my favorite championships. In fact, honestly, truth be told, I'm speaking right English, right? The X Division was one of my favorite things, one of my big things that I loved about TNA, and to a degree still do. And this matchup, while it may pair in comparison to other great X Division matches, which honestly is a hard thing to top in and of itself, this matchup was fantastic. The triple threat action with these three men really brought it together between Mandrews, DJZ, and Tigre Uno. Holy cow, there was high-flying crazy action, and I loved everything about it. As Tigre Uno successfully defended the X Division Championship in that three-way, we actually were greeted by, stay in the back, there's a hurricane coming through. Yeah, Gregory Helms, of all people, came out and proudly proclaimed how proud he was of the X Division, how it was one of the things that put TNA on the map, and I, in my patriotic moment, could not agree more. By the way, I want that bright green jacket. I don't care how much does that thing cost? We'll wait after tax season. And also told Tigre Uno that once again next week he would defend his X Division Championship, but he didn't say against who. I sense a storm is a-coming. It's a hurricane joke. Is it storm? What is wrong with you? It wouldn't be TNA Impact Wrestling without some knockout action. We saw Velvet Sky take on Awesome Kong, and I just gotta say, for the record, once again, every time I hear Awesome Kong's music, I get a shiver up my spine. That's for darn sure. Darn sure? I can say darn sure? I mean, they know what I'm saying, but in any case. We see Kong basically decimate Velvet Sky, even though the dollhouse does come out in the end, after Kong basically squashes Velvet Sky like a flattened pancake. I mean, Madison Rayne did try to come in and make the save, but unfortunately, numbers are in power here. Honestly, with all three members of the dollhouse, with Awesome Kong included, it's hard for me to see any legitimate challenge, at least so far. True, you have Gail Kim as the Knockouts champion, but it's really interesting to see what's going to happen, who's going to be the saving grace. With the dollhouse and Kong basically laying wasteland to the entire Knockouts division, this could be an opportunity for someone new and upcoming to really rise through the ranks of the Knockouts and really have a chance to shine. So, while it's kind of scary, to say the least, I will be intrigued to see what happens with the dollhouse, and particularly Kong, as Kong has put on nothing but, well, in my opinion, some of the best knockout matches in the history of TNA wrestling. So it'll be interesting to see, well, what's going to happen with that division. But we're going to get to that. There's so much more things to talk about. Oh my goodness. We reveal one of the briefcases. Eli Drake finds out that he indeed will get a shot at the King of the Mountain Championship. That means he has to fight Eric Young. Oh, I am not... There is not enough granola bars in the world to make me fight Eric Young. That guy is legit. That guy is scary. Yes, I accept forms of payment in granola bars. Have you not been listening to my channel? It's hunting season. The Wolves aim to take revenge against Crazy Steve, who apparently stole their tag team titles last week, but Crazy Steve was not alone. He was joined by a woman who kept saying decay over and over again, and honestly looked something out of American Horror Story, which... yeah, good luck for me sleeping tonight. And also got joined by the Monster Abyss in somewhat of an impromptu tag team matchup. Now, the first thing I'm going to state for the record, I love the team of Crazy Steve and Abyss. Keep them together as long as humanly possible. I love these two together as a tag team. Haven't really seen too much of Abyss or Crazy Steve in recent memory, so the two of them together kind of gel very well. Kind of an ode to the Menagerie old stable that Crazy Steve used to be a part of. And honestly, I kind of like these team better because they're like chaos and carnage. Might want to use that as a tag team now. I'm going to give that one to you for free. You're welcome. The tag team match, of course, didn't last too long as basically more chaos ensued, and we saw the Decay woman come out and spray mist all over both members of the Davey Richards at least, and basically ended the match in a complete DQ, and everything was thrown right out the door. The new team of Crazy Steve, Abyss, and I'm just going to call her Decay at this point, stand over the tag team champions, proudly holding their championship belts. I am super pumped for this. A lot of people have been saying that the TNA Tag Team division really hasn't had a chance to shine, and boy howdy was this the best way to showcase them. Abyss and Crazy Steve, while they haven't teamed too long, I mean, as far as I know, this is the first time we've seen them tag together, they made a pretty darn good tag team, if I do say so myself. So seeing them and the Wolves kind of in a cohesive tag team atmosphere, I'm kind of, not to jinx the Wolves, I'm part of the Wolf Nation, but not to jinx the Wolves, wouldn't mind seeing Crazy Steve and Abyss with the tag team titles. I'm just, Wolves, don't eat me, please. Before we get to the crazy main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, yes, the other briefcases are indeed revealed, and not that one that had like 3-week-old. Okay, my 3-week-old milk just crawled away. I can literally see that. You know what? It should have a good life. We reveal the other 3 briefcases that both James Storm, Grado, and Drew Galloway had. Of course, James Storm winning the tag team briefcase, which goes without saying. Beer money. Imagine if they filled them out with both. You know, I'd still take the money. Grado unfortunately got fired, and Drew Galloway, yes, got another opportunity at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Again, I'm a big fan of the Feast or Fired concept, but like I said, if Grado's leaving, just saying, Dixie, you might want to put me on the payroll. I dress so professionally in my red Iron Man shirt and talk about 3-week-old milk that just ran out. It's back. I think it was all inevitable that we were going to see Beer Money win back a tag team title shot. Listen, am I the only one that not only is glad that Beer Money's back, but think they should be predominantly featured at the top of the card? I mean, okay, let's back up a little bit on that one. Wolves and Beer Money is a dream tag team matchup that I'm sure that every fan of TNA Wrestling, including yours truly, definitely wants to see, but I don't want to see it just yet. Let's space it out, give it some time, give it some chance to breathe and room, and let it grow, and then just naturally come and just beat the crap out of each other. I think that would be a phenomenal tag team match that definitely is a dream one to hold for, I don't know, maybe a major pay-per-view they might hold in the summertime. Slammiversary! Ooh, wow, I just have that horrible cough thing again. And Drew Galloway getting a world title shot definitely puts a smile to my face, but we also saw some interesting tease between Mike Bennett, the Miracle, and Drew Galloway backstage before the briefcases were revealed, and needless to say, I pretty much yelled at the top of my lungs, shut up and take my money, so I'm all for Drew Galloway versus Mike Bennett in the future, but hey, maybe even for the TNA World title. Not sure what this is all about, but time for the main event. Brothers in arms, brothers in blood, fighting for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. As Matt and Jeff Hardy are about to fight, their whole epic World Heavyweight Championship matches lasted all of 20 seconds. That's right, because Eric Young came out and distracted Jeff Hardy just long enough to have Bram attack Jeff Hardy, as Eric Young and Bram double team on Jeff Hardy, as Matt just kind of idly lets nothing happen. Eric Young claiming that he should be the one that gets the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. He is the king of wrestling! There's also like the of the mountain and TNA, and just there's other parts of that title. But I'll be the last person to argue with Eric Young. You can bet you on that. As Bram and Eric Young beat the living crap out of Jeff Hardy, he is saved by Beer Money, only to have Abyss and Crazy Steve come out. It was like some sort of cavalcade of calamity and chaos, as all the men as most of the men found their way back into the back. Kurt Angle found his way into the ring, trying to save Jeff, only to be attacked by Tyrus and taken out with a TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt by none other than, of course, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Matt Hardy. Big Money Matt. And with that belt and that Tyrus, I'm not doubting that at all. We finally end the whole segment with Eric Young and Bram once again getting Jeff Hardy and beating the crap out of him, only to end the show with Eric Young pile-driving Jeff Hardy, who re-injured his knee through a table. Can you really take out anyone else any other way? You took out his leg, you took out his body, you pile-drive him through a table. I mean, it's something out of like a Terry Funk book, really, which, by the way, was a fantastic selling book, I might just add. Ding. While I was excited for the World Heavyweight Championship match again, I'm actually more excited and honestly a little more happier that this happened. Matt and Jeff Hardy for the world title should happen on a bigger stage, much like I said with the Wolves and Beer Money happening. So while I was a little bummed we didn't see it on Impact on Pop, I'm hoping that TNA will save this for a much bigger venue and much bigger show a little further down the road. Slammiversary! Wow, freaking that cough again. It just keeps happening. Like right here. Anyway, but overall, this Impact on Pop was fantastic. You had not one, but two, in essence, championship matches on the line, including the Feast or Fired, one of my personal favorite concepts. Kong and Sky was mostly dominated by Kong, but again, it sets up and builds up the big team atmosphere and dynamic with the Dollhouse. We got some great tag team action with Abyss and Crazy Steve against the Wolves, which hopefully will start building up that tag team division once again that I'm hoping and craving to see in TNA again. The Feast or Fired concept again, as I mentioned before, the matchup was crazy enough as itself, but the results were more or less satisfying. No one likes to see anyone get fired, but Galloway getting the world title shot, Eli Drake getting the King of the Mountain, yes! And James Storm and Beer Money, rather, getting the tag team title shot definitely put another grin on this person's face. Overall, I love this Impact on Pop, but then again, what did you guys think? As always, I encourage you guys to let your thoughts know about what happened on this past Impact on Poptv by hitting that comment section down below, or hitting us up on Twitter, Facebook, or all the other forms of social media that either myself or the entire OneWrestling.com family is a part of, which, by the way, you might want to check out. Link down in the description below. Make sure to follow myself on Twitter at OKayFabe and check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OKayFabe. Make sure to follow the rest of the OneWrestling.com family on social media, including Big Ray at Big Ray Show, Bill Skyler at You Got the Show, Fame Black at Fame Black, Billy Ray Valentine at Billy Ray Hustle, The Professor, PW Hustle at Professor PW Hustle, 8-Track Brown at Pharaoh Fancy. Make sure you join the Big Slam Nation at Big Slam Nation. Of course, the legendary, the iconic, the one and only Mr. Bill After at After One Wrestling, and of course, at One Wrestling as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to see yours truly on this channel, including Bill Skyler's reviews, Big Slam Nation, the After Chat, and all the fun content here on the OneWrestling.com YouTube channel, as well as OneWrestling.com. You know you want to. It's great, awesome content, folks. You can't miss it. Thank you guys again for watching. Appreciate the love and support. I'll see you guys next week for another fun Impact Wrestling review. I am Connor, aka OKayFabe, your official OneWrestling.com TNA Impact Wrestling reporter, signing off. And as always, take care. And as always, take it easy. We got to find that milk before it gets out. I'm just saying, we need to find it right now.
Audio Jungle.